My name is Jeremiah, the Crazy Train Nelson. I train out of Letts, Iowa. Small town, in a garage, no heat, banging it out. There's no stopping this train. I mean, doing it for the love of it.
Mike Vasquez. I train at Core Fitness. I been in the mixed martial arts game about 3 years.
Mike Vasquez has had a target on his back since the first time I saw him fight. He had the strap around his waist and I wanted it. He doesn't have it no more, but if I gotta go through him to get it, I'm gonna.
Like I said before, they're all aggressive guys trying to, take your pride, take your W. I'm gonna do what I can do, and he's gonna do what he does.
All I got to say is, your jits is no good here, son. He can have his game plan, and he can say he's gonna take me down, but saying it and doing it's two different things.
My name is Randy, the Reaping Menace. I'm filling in for a teammate. I train with Meade Fighting Systems, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna bang.
First, I want to say thanks to Randy Meade for stepping up and taking this fight after another back out. Mike Vasquez had a glitch in his game, I guess, and decided that I was too good for him and he can't fight me.
Man, he looks like he likes to go out and, just put on a good show, just like I do, man. So we're both going to go out there. We're both going to try to hurt each other, and that's pretty much the game plan, Tomorrow night, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to beat the crap out of my opponent. So all sounds good. Let's do this.
Making his way to the cage in our 6th fight of the night at Cage Aggression 9, Jeremiah the Crazy Train Nelson with a record of 10-6, fighting out of Redneck Combat Sports in Letts, Iowa.
That is not what I was expecting him to come out to.
No, not at all.
You see the man's nickname is Crazy Train, so I'm expecting Crazy Train. And he come out to straight old school hip hop.
I'm sure he had to have come out to that in the past, but let's talk about, preparing for one person and then, with fight week, having to completely switch that up. And, I got to give a lot of credit to him because that's got to be hard to do.
Yeah, and especially if you've been preparing for one fight or one style, you kind of base your whole camp on what this person's strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and then you have to sort of change it up and go with something that, might be totally different if the fighter that you're fighting now has a completely different style.
Exactly, it tests you. It really shows. I mean, you go in there with your tools. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your opponent has. You've got yours, and this is going to be a time where we see that really. I mean, making his way to the cage, representing Meade Fighting System in Davenport, Iowa, Randy the Reaping Menace Meade. Let's continue this talk about fight changes and how about the guy that stepped up last minute when you haven't been really training for a fight to take a fight.
Right. If anything, I would think that would probably be more of a disadvantage because at least the other guy was training for a fight. This guy might not have even been training, actively for a fight. Of course, he's staying in shape, still going in, getting his work in, but it's different when you know that you have a fight coming up. So just being able to come in, on maybe a week's notice and say, okay, I'm ready to do this, that shows a lot of heart and character on his end. And, somebody who's, just out there to get fights under their belt, out there to put on a show, out there to show that, it doesn't matter if I've been training because I'm always ready.
I will say, too, coming out of Meade Fighting System, they're definitely, as soon as they got the word that they're sending another soldier into the cage, they flipped the switch and got them ready the best they could. And so if there was one camp to be able to do that, it's definitely going to be Meade Fighting System. So they're definitely sending him in there with everything they've got. And he's been around too, so he knows what to do. He knows the lay of the land, and it's going to be a great fight tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is scheduled for 3 rounds of VCR MMA action. Introducing first, fighting out the red corner. He stands 6 feet 3 inches long and weighed in at 186 pounds. He trains with Redneck Combat Sports and is sponsored by Murphy's Public Glove, Cage Aggression, Extreme Cage Rentals, Precision Transmission, and Stars Asylum Tattooing. Joining us from Let's Iowa, Jeremiah, the Crazy Train Nelson. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing in at 174 pounds. He trains with Village Fighting Systems. Joining us from Dallas, Florida, Randy, the Reaping Menace.
Kevin Anderson is
our special guest referee, Kevin Anderson.
Kevin Anderson, the referee of the next fight of the night between Jeremiah, the Crazy Train Nelson, and Randy, the Reaping Menace Meade. Meade coming out in the white shorts, Nelson coming out in the black. Meade looking for the overhand real quick too. Getting a nice kick as well. Nelson trying to establish the jab early and Meade looking. Meade caught in a standing guillotine almost. Big size difference too in the cage as well right now, and that's actually it could be an advantage and disadvantage depending on which way you're looking at it. But Meade right now caught almost caught in the guillotine. And with the long legs is where being tall is at an advantage right now.
And it's not like he's really like thin either. He's pretty firmly built.
Right. Doing a good job of pushing his face away and throwing some shots, but really looking to throw that leg over and maybe get a triangle like we've seen earlier tonight.
He's doing his best right now to keep his head into his body so that he isn't leaving himself open for too much. But he is still getting hit with a few shots to the head.
So I was going to say, Nelson doing a good job of just keeping active and just kind of scoring and landing some shots and just peppering the head a little bit. All those little ones count. Looking for like I said, the submission right here. Trying to trap the arm and Meade doing a good job of spinning around and getting on top. Now Meade looking for a tip to take the back of Nelson. Just needs to hop over right there. He's in a good position to do it right now. Throw a knee to the body. Nelson doing a good job of keeping that arm wrapped around the leg to stop either one of those two things. Feel the whole cage shake right there as he missed that shot. And there he's gonna take the back right there. Perfect. Gets into the side control. Holmes had the arm trapped right there, but didn't know it. Side control huge right now too, so you can get some knees to the stomach, knees to the thigh, to the right. Side control is a great position for me to be in right now. He decided, if you trap the arm right there and get a Kimura arm line, it looks like he's looking for that maybe. Elbows to the body.
It's just kind of
quickly transitions into full mount right there.
It's just kind of interesting, trying to get a feel for what exactly he's attempting to do because he had opportunity to do certain things, but he's not necessarily doing it.
Right, staying real heavy too, but I gotta give him credit for how fast he hopped into full mount right there. It looks like Nelson's gonna get saved by the bell and go into the second round. Nelson took a little bit of time to get up there too.
Yeah,
so
he did. He didn't look like he was springing up really quickly up there.
I'll say a good round for both fighters. I think they know, like we were talking about earlier, the range right now. But Meade definitely showed a little bit more work and advantage on the ground. So
in a round like that, it always depends on your judges and what they like to see. Do you like to see somebody who's taking advantage of those positions on the ground, or do you want to see more striking ability? Do you want to see somebody who's getting who's working subjective. That's why, you know, I would never want to do it, especially trying to judge a sort of a tight round like that last round.
Second down, guys. Second down.
Round two, and both fighters right in the middle of the cage, wasting no time. Couple kicks from Nelson.
And you would think that, you know, since he has that advantage, he would try to keep Meade at bay, especially since Meade was able to get on top of him and pretty much hold him there for the majority of the last round.
And that big kick landed, and it came through, and Meade really trying to close the distance. And this is where, like, you don't want a tall guy establishing range on you. And so Meade really looking for the counter to try to get in and probably take it back to the ground.
And I think it's really important for, you know, for him to be active right now to, you know, well, really for both fighters to be active right now to overcome the range distance and also try to assert some dominance in the round, because, you know, the last round was kind of sketchy, kind of hard to tell who won.
Right, and you know, Meade's shots there, you know, the looping, one of those hands behind the ear, those are the ones that knock the equilibrium off, so I think that's what he's trying to do, and a great thing to do with the tall guy. Whizzes by the chin right there. Good sprawl by Meade. Keep it fighting, keep it standing. Nelson using the big legs and knees just to kind of pepper the body up. Not really necessarily in.
Right, and also did a good job. He sort of has that arm hook on Meade too, so he can't really stop those moves.
And Meade did a great job right there, taking him down, and looks to take his back, just hop that right leg right over and trap that arm. Good position right now for Meade. Nelson doing a good job trying to hang onto the rim, so nice pop-up. Meade just drags him right back down. Big shots too. It's almost like Nelson's doing a good job catch wrestling right now, and he's really trying to make it so that Meade can't really take his back and can't do a whole lot. But Meade is really right there, just trap that arm and spin right over and take it back.
And Nelson is, I was going to say, really open right now for a few shots in the head, you know, maybe drop some elbows to his head. You know, really vulnerable for something like that.
Yeah, got him in the arm bar. Really quick.
Really quick. You see how quickly he put that on.
Fast arm bar.
That's man, dislocated his shoulder.
Randy Meade, yeah, and Anderson was right on it. Referee Kevin Anderson.
And that's where it's important to have a referee who knows, you know, who's been in the fight game, who's been in fights, who can see something like that about to happen and be able to stop the fight really quickly.
And that's when you say, when you got such a quick transition like that, you know, the arm wasn't obviously ready to be torqued like that. He's up on his feet, so good to know that he is looking a little better, feeling a little better. But congratulations to Randy Meade out of Middletage Fighting Systems for getting the win tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Kevin Anderson calling stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 7 seconds, round 2, declaring your winner by submission due to Kimura, Randy the Reaping Menace Meade.
There you have it, Randy Meade out of Middletage Fighting System gets a submission.